And first up for Japan is Miki Mori, performing here on even bar exercise. The girls have to move from bar to bar with releases, swing and flight. And here she is preparing for her dismount. Not quite making the landing, having to step sideways, but otherwise quite a reasonable exercise for this young Japanese girl. And as we see the slow motion replay of that difficult Jaeger somersault, and immediately transferring onto the low bar, handstand half turn, slight hesitation before moving to the high bar, a long swing followed by a stoop on, shoot front somersault in the tuck position with a half turn. And there's her score, a 9.4250. And next up for Canada, this very small girl starts her routine, and there we see very original movement there. Thomas flares on the bar, and this young girl has some very original movements on the bar, very exciting. And here we see her preparing for her dismount. Very fine double somersault with a full twist in the tuck position. Charlotte Pipey from Canada, this very small, petite looking young girl. And as we see the slow motion replay, some of her difficult parts in her routine. This long swing followed by a ginger, recatching the bar, half turning, and again turning, releasing to the bottom bar, and there's her final score, 9.650. And next up on the bars is the young Chinese girl, Yang Yu. And these young Chinese girls doing some very exciting work on these uneven bars. A Jaeger somersault there, releasing and catching with the legs together. Back catch off, very difficult movement. And a very fine finish, a double somersault in the straight position, just a slight step back on landing. Very good exercise from this young Chinese girl, Yang Yu. And there's that release and catch, very high somersault, straight onto the low bar, continues her exercise, moves to the high bar, swings to handstand, back catch off, very difficult for girls, and there's her score, very high, 9.875. Very good mark for the young Chinese girl. And here's her teammate, Yang Bo, to perform her bar routine. Let's see what she can produce on this very exciting piece of apparatus. There's that Jaeger somersault, but done this time in the straddle position. Slight overbalance there in the handstand. Manages to correct herself, and finishing with a fine tuck double somersault, only that little jump at the end on landing. A big smile there from the young Chinese girl, Yang Bo. Beautiful style and lots of swing. Prepares herself for her double somersault finish. There we see it, and there's just that light step forward, and there's her score, 9.750. Very high score for a beautiful bar routine. And from Canada, the next gymnast is Koyuki Oka. prepares herself for that bar exercise. Let's see what she can produce. A reverse long swing, very difficult hand changes into long swing on the low bar. Very small girl for a Canadian. King of somersault. She has the difficulty there, but a slight stop in the exercise there will cost her in her final mark. And there's a very difficult finish, a double somersault with a full twist in the tuck position. It's a pity about that slight mistake, and there another little mistake, bent arms during that long swing. Fine combination there, followed by a release to the bottom bar, an immediate long swing. Continues onto the high bar, and here we see that King of somersault, and there's her score, a 9.250 for the young Canadian gymnast. Next up, the Korean girl, Pak Chu Suk. Straight into a very difficult movement, a straddle in and out, followed by a catch-off, straddle over the low bar. Lots of content in this bar routine. And there's a very fine exercise, finishing with a front somersault, half turn in a tuck position. Just that little step on landing, very pleased with that. Nice smile from the gymnast. Fine catch-off, back straddle over the bar, very difficult movement. Immediately onto the low bar, straddle in and out, followed by stoop, swing onto the high bar, straight into handstand, long swing, stoop on, shoot front somersault with a half turn. And there's her final score, 9.650. And the next gymnast up from USA, Sandy Woosley. Straight into her long swings. There's her coach standing by for that very difficult back straddle over the low bar. Good swing. There's a pirouette, a full twist and pirouette on the top of the bar, followed by immediate long swing, double somersault. Very pleased with the exercise. Big smiles and congratulated by her coach. And there's her score, 9.7250. And next up, from Australia, this very experienced gymnast. Beautiful back straddle, good style and swing. Well done, Monique Alien from Australia. Beautiful exercise there. And here we see Monique perform that full pirouette. Beautiful style throughout her exercise. Nice back catch off, turns, releases over the low bar, stoops, swings to the high bar, and there's her score, a 9.80, very high score. And in the medal position, Yang Yu the gold, Alan Australia the silver, and Yang Bo from China the bronze.